here today to be with me for a few moments. Thank you is the key for the day. What is that going to do for your day? So if you start your conversations with people, I don't mean probably not every sentence, it was a little kill, but every conversation. So somebody asks you, start your sentence with thank you. Thank you for asking for that. Thank you. Thank you for calling me. Thank you for being here. And just see what that does to your day. See how that changes, maybe not them, but you. I had a great conversation this morning with my dad, who is in an assisted living facility where he's being well cared for because he has a lot of dementia. I mean, he is, losing short-term memory in a really big way, and he can't necessarily take care of himself at home. As a matter of fact, the reports are now coming out, which I'm so grateful for. It'll help other people. But we started saying it about a year ago. Willow, come. She's in the shade. She says, I'm too hot to walk that far. Come on, Willow, let's go. You mean I have to go back and get the dog that can zoom this driveway 4 times while I'm here? Here she comes. Back to my story. We've been saying this for over a year. The caretaker of the person who is debilitated goes down first. We've known that. There are now studies that show it. Like we had to wait for a study to see that, we could save lives by helping people who need extra help get that extra help sooner. This is really where it's critical. I know we talk about how we'd like to keep Dad at home forever, but if no one's living there with him, that may not be in his best interest, and it's also not in the best interest of the person who's living with him. Because it's the person who's living with him that needs the support. They need help, they need a break. Let's face it, even young moms who are taking care of children, newborns, toddlers, they need assistance and they don't necessarily ask for it. And so we have to be, as a community, more cognizant of the idea that we used to live more in community. Families lived, larger parts of the families lived in the same house, and there were more children, so there was more assistance. Hey, get me this. Hey, give me a hug. Hey, thank you for that. Hey, So let's start our conversations with thank you, with a little gratitude for, sometimes it's not assistance, sometimes it feels like criticism, but it may be just pointing out something so that you don't forget. And that can change our brains, and it can change how we respond to the environment. It also can lower our cortisol and make our lives better. And I started to tell you about my conversation with Dad, who has dementia and doesn't know why he's living in this hotel. And I circumvented that conversation by asking him how the weather was. I said, thanks for calling, Dad. How's the weather there? And that was something he could answer. That was a question he knew the answer to. And then we went on from there, and he started to tell me about his day and how he was up early and he was going to go to breakfast, which he doesn't usually do. So what that tells me is his daily cycle is improving. When he was living at home with Mom, he wouldn't get up until noon sometimes. And that really screws up that daily circadian rhythm. And when that's screwed up, every other hormone in the body is messed up and we lose cognitive function, we lose physical function, we lose a lot of things. So what does this have to do with animal chiropractic? Guys, I am just thankful for each person who takes our course. I'll give you a little back view of the parking lot today. You know, we have an amazing group of 4 doctors here this weekend. I know that doesn't sound like a very big group, but you know what the best part is? We get to spend more time with each one of them. We get to focus on their needs and their abilities so that they will be able to go home next week and manage and begin their animal chiropractic practice. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor who has yet to be thankful for the idea that you could add animal chiropractic to your practice, find us today at animalchiropracticeducation.com. There's my Teddy. There's my John John. Hi, John John.